Hello, my name is Elle and I'm the producer at Helix Interactive. Welcome to how we turn chaos into a playable build. So every game starts the same way, with chaos and creativity. There are ideas everywhere, there's practically no structure, no priorities, just potential and ideas. Today I'm going to show you how we turn this chaos into a playable product. So we often start with sketches for levels or whatever type of game it is that you are creating. So we often start with sketches to define where the player should go and make sure that gameplay is intuitive. The first thing that we do when we're talking about a game is define the core outcomes. Not features, not polishing, but just the goal of the game. This can vary from game to game, and it also varies based on the genre of game that you are creating. Other aspects to consider include, what do you want the player to feel? This contributes to the atmosphere and the choices that you will make in order to create the atmosphere that you so desire. What mechanics fit intuitively with your game concept? Because when we're making Chikki, who is a squirrel, a flying squirrel, you need to have some gliding in there. There's no way that we could make a game about a flying squirrel and not have gliding as a mechanic. That would be really upsetting. Also, what mechanics are we testing? How exactly are we testing? And who is testing? These are very important because when we're talking about what mechanics are we testing, we are refining one specific movement mechanic or feature that we offer in the game. This is for refining smaller bits and pieces. Very specific, but very necessary. How are we testing? This can include playtesting on a PC versus playtesting with a controller. So keyboard versus controller. There can be bugs in one and not the other, so sometimes you need to playtest with both. And who is testing? If your team making the game are the only people playtesting, you're already going to know where to go, know where all of the issues and the glitches are, versus if you have your best friend, your partner, whoever playtest, maybe they'll find bugs that you didn't know existed, or they will go in places that you never expected them to explore within your game. This can be very helpful in finding new bugs, potentially game-breaking bugs. We often break things down into categories. So in Chikki, we have memory shards, but we will also have collectibles. And so this is a snippet from a previous presentation / meeting that we had as a team discussing these. Memory shards are quite a big idea. So what we like to do is take these bigger ideas and break them down into categories and also into smaller tasks. This helps things move along faster. In sound effects, we have broken it down into the various sound effects that we will need, and this goes from the player movement, background music, collectibles, attack sequences. We also have things like Chikki animation glitch when jumping and then dashing. This is a task that has come from our playtesting sessions. We also have implement narrative / dialogue for the companion, which we have now named. I don't know if we have released the name, so I won't name drop. Then we also have another animation glitch and implementation for UI for memory shard interaction. More UI things like making instructions larger so that the player cannot miss them. So these big ideas become small tasks, and it makes it a lot easier to follow along and to make sure that everyone feels they can accomplish their goal. Now comes the important part. What actually matters in the sprint? We tend to prioritize anything that blocks playability. So game-breaking bugs, or things that do not make sense narratively. Because game design and project management in general is such an iterative process, you must go through many iterations before you find your quote-unquote perfect or final product. It might not even be final until 5 minutes before you release. That is possible, although bad planning. Every build gives feedback. So we log it, we prioritize it, and then we adjust So production isn't just about control and time management. It's about clarity and making sure that everyone is on track to accomplish their goals. For Act 1 of Chikki, we started just with a movement-focused idea. Combat and narrative were added later, but only after we had a stable playable product. And as we move forward with our planning, I find it's easier to break down our progress in terms of level. So what you are introducing, if you are introducing anything in each level. And then you have a proper breakdown of that level. Turning chaos into a playable product isn't magic. It is structure, it is prioritizing, and it is taking small steps forward. As long as you're making progress, you're going in the right direction. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. See you next time. If you're building a game right now, try simplifying your next idea into a playable core first. And if you want more behind-the-scenes production insights, subscribe to our channel.